If you couldn't tell by most of my videos, the machinima section, or literally me wearing the Master Chief helmet in my profile picture, I love Halo. It's literally my favorite franchise, and I met a lot of my friends through Halo. So when I heard they were making a Halo-themed convention called Halo Outpost Discovery, I immediately got my tickets, got in my cryopod, and said,
"Wake me when you need me."
And yes, I own a cryopod. It's called a freezer, and I only survived on hype and frozen chicken wings. But now that I'm back from the convention in Orlando, a lot of you are probably curious what I actually thought of it, especially since I'll be coming back this July 19th through the 21st in Philadelphia. So today, I want to go over my experience, the things I loved and didn't love, my recommendations, and maybe even some constructive feedback to the people who set up the convention, so everyone at the next convention can have an even better experience. Alright, let's get to it.
Get ready.
To give you guys some context, I went 2 days, Friday as VIP, and Saturday with just a general admission. I also got sunburned a few days prior, so I wasn't exactly entering in the best of conditions. So trust me, despite my deep love for Halo, if there was anything wrong with this event, I wasn't going to be afraid to spot it. Luckily, I forgot all about my sunburn the moment I walked into the Hall of History and saw a life-sized Master Chief statue towering over everyone. If nerdgasm is a real thing, then I definitely had a nerdgasm. I couldn't stop looking for 15 minutes straight. I only stopped looking when I turned my head and saw a giant elite. It was breathtaking, and my jaw dropped when I turned the other way and saw a real-life warthog. Long story short, the Hall of History left an amazing first impression. I felt like a kid again, seeing all these things pulled from the games into the real world. All the boards and staff dressed as scientists explaining the lore behind everything to old fans and newcomers alike. There was even this board that showed the size of every member of the Covenant. Seeing how big these guys were from the perspective of a normal human instead of a 7'2" Spartan gave me a newly found appreciation for the Marines. Because if I saw that thing coming at me, I'd just throw my gun and run. I'm not even gonna pretend I'd fight that. They even had the helmet of Noble 6. I need a moment. Okay, I think I'm good. For real though, seeing Noble 6's helmet nearly brought me to tears of both joy and sadness. It really was a great way to top one of the best parts of the convention. Now, let's talk about the lined attractions, since they're literally going to be some of the best and worst experiences of the whole convention. Right off the bat, the two best attractions are the VR training grounds and the laser tag combat deck. For the VR, you wore a headset and a backpack and fought in a 3v3 arena that hovered over Valhalla. The whole armless Spartans kinda weirded me out at first, but once they explained they were only drones simulating Spartans and you actually got to try it out, it's a lot of fun. I ended up getting a triple kill at the start and our team ended up winning. Playing laser tag was also a total adrenaline rush. Not only did the arena have UNSC marked cover and crates everywhere, but Halo's music played throughout each match. The guns resembled battle rifles and would make sounds for the battle rifle, snipers for the second round, health damage, and recharging shields. It felt like a real-life match of Halo, and just like the VR, me and Blue Team won our second game. If there's one other attraction you shouldn't miss, it's the ring experience. Before you even get in line, you're greeted by Spartans Hazel and Owen, and these guys look badass. Once you actually get inside, there are 3 rooms showing off displays of things related to the Halo rings. You'll also wear headphones that tell you about each thing. The first room showed a piece of Delta Halo, the second shows a life-size Sentinel, and the third shows 3 things: an activation index, a life-sized Flood Parasite, and 343 Guilty Spark in the flesh. Or metal, or whatever it is he's made of. There's also a 4th dome room that plays a video on a 360 ceiling screen, and in it, you're riding these vehicles called honeybees through one of the Halo rings as they summarize the whole series from Halos 1 through 3. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to film or photograph anything in there, so you'll have to just take my word for it when I say it was pretty cool. Some other attractions included the Covenant Escape Room, the Target Range, and the Pelican Training. The Covenant Escape Room was 3 rooms designed to resemble the inside of a Covenant ship, and it sorta did its job. Compared to the Hall of History stuff, it wasn't a total recreation, but it was serviceable, and while the puzzles weren't that difficult, it was still fun working with everyone against the clock. The Target Range was easily the weakest attraction. You basically shot Halo-themed Boomco guns at targets on a screen. If you don't know what Boomco is, they're basically knockoff Nerf guns. You get to choose between an SMG and a Magnum, but if you brought your own, you were allowed to use it. But between the short timer and constant reloading of these things, I'd say save this for last. I even had more fun waiting in line and looking at this militarized good boy. The last official attraction was the Pelican Training, which was ironically the first attraction I tried out. Inside is the back of a pelican that you can sit in, and similar to the escape room, you have to work together when your ship takes damage. But instead of puzzles, you each man a control panel and have to take turns following directions. A lot of people seem to like this one, and I do recommend it if you're with your friends, but I felt a little disappointed! I thought it was gonna be like that shuttle ride from Epcot, where you're flying a ship while your seat moves and steam is shot in your face. I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased because we had some people who didn't know what they were doing, so I had to multitask, and unfortunately, we still ended up crashing. But to be fair, pelicans crash all the time in Halo, so I'd say it was still a very faithful simulation. And for a bonus, I'll throw in Halo Fireteam Raven. Technically, it's not one of the advertised attractions, but if shooting Nerf guns at a screen is considered one, then so is this. They had this scattered all around, and if you haven't heard of it, it's an arcade machine set during Halo Combat Evolved, where instead of the Chief, 1 to 4 players can play as ODSTs. And for an arcade machine, it was pretty fun. It was very cinematic, fast-paced, and the best part was no one had to pay for it. Instead, they had everyone play one whole mission for free. I even ended up getting the best stats on my team, and that was my first time playing it. Definitely using those coupons they gave me to play the rest of it. However, while we're on the topic of blind attractions, I can't go any further without talking about one of the biggest problems with Halo Outpost Discovery: the actual lines.
Chief, how close are you?
Not close enough.
Most of the horror stories you've heard about the lines are true. The wait time had to be 2 to 3 hours average. I literally could feel my back and legs giving out. There were points we weren't moving for so long, people would just sit down while they were waiting. It definitely made stuff like the escape room and Pelican Training seem more underwhelming, and wasn't even worth waiting for the target range. I had to miss so many panels just because I wanted to try everything. Some attractions like the VR and the Ring experience also had technical difficulties, which made lines even longer. There wasn't any sort of fast pass system for VIP owners, so VIP and general admission were both thrown in together. However, there was one secret way you could get through the lines faster. If you get in line by yourself like I did, you actually have a better chance of staff members pulling you closer to the front of the line to fill in an empty spot. This helped me skip through the lines of the escape room, VR, and Ring experience. So don't feel too bad if you can't bring anyone, because it could save you up to an hour of wait time. My suggestion to Halo Outpost Discovery would be to include Fast Pass lines for VIP owners. Many theme parks like Disney and Universal Studios do this because instead of throwing everyone into one giant line, you could split them into 2 lines and pull half of them from each line. And since there won't be as many VIP owners because of the price, the VIP lines will be even faster, thus giving VIP passes more value. Speaking of which, you're probably curious what even comes with VIP. Let me start by saying if you choose to go VIP, it's more than double the price of general admission, from $60 to $140. For that much, you'll receive access to the VIP lounge, be able to walk in an hour early and out an hour later, get around 7 months of Xbox Game Pass, Dave & Buster coupons, dog tags, avatar skins, an exclusive Funko Pop, and a bag to carry all those collectibles in. While there is some nice stuff that comes with VIP, I'd say stick with general admission. For starts, the exclusive Funko Pop can be purchased at the store for $10. Also, while the VIP lounge gives you a chance to meet 343 developers and some of the voice actors like Steve Downes and Jen Taylor, there's no way to predict when they'd actually be there. Most people didn't waste their time there just because there was so much to do at the actual convention. As for the lounge itself, it had some LAN party stations, an arcade machine, and some books to read, but nothing that'll draw you away from the convention. The biggest reason I'd get VIP would be for those 2 extra hours, but I feel it's just not enough to justify double the price. If they announce a fast pass system though, then yes, definitely go for it because you'll need every second of the day to see everything. Even without VIP though, there was one other thing that helped me get through those lines. The people. I know it sounds like I'm underplaying the convention by saying the people were the best part of it, but people really are the heart and soul of any convention, and that couldn't be more true here. Getting to talk to other Halo fans not only raised my confidence, but it also reinforced my love for Halo and the community. And there were a lot of cool people I got to meet. In fact, I even got to meet a lot of famous people from the Halo community. As far as YouTubers go, I spotted Green Skull twice, once at the VR station and again in the Ring Experience. And while I was in line for the Ring Experience, I even got to talk to the guys from Forge Labs. I saw devs from 343 Industries there, I saw Jen Taylor there, and best of all, better than anything else, I got to talk and get a picture with Steve Downes. Who's Steve Downes, you ask? Oh, no one really. He's only the voice of Master Chief.
Tell that to the Covenant. I need a weapon. Sir, permission to leave the station.
For what purpose, Master Chief?
To give the Covenant back their bomb.
Just one question. What if you miss?
I won't. Sir, finishing this fight.
We need to run!
No, we need to fight. And I'm here to fuck spiders.
I was just waiting in line for the Pelican training, and there he was, just walking by. I kindly called out to him asking for a picture, and not only did he take time away from his busy schedule to get a picture with me, but he was very nice about it and just a cool dude. I was practically frozen with excitement, but I made sure to tell him what an inspiration he was to me, and he was flattered. Then a lady had to come and take him back to wherever he was going, and I understood and just thanked him for taking the time to see me. But I was so excited that I was determined to go to one of his signings. And that's where the other big elephant in the room comes in. The other big issue with the convention was the signings. They were incredibly unorganized and inconsistent. I literally got blue-balled in all 3 attempts to get a signature. The first attempt, they just cut the line after a certain number of people, right as I was about to get in line. Seriously, the lady just steps in front of me, puts her hand in my face, and is like,
You shall not pass!
The second attempt was even worse. The entire booth was surrounded by people. They probably wanted to be there as early as possible after the last signing and swarmed that booth like vultures to a carcass. I got in the closest thing to a line I could find and waited for the signing to start, only to be told an hour later that they decided to quietly hand out raffle tickets instead. And if you didn't get a ticket, you weren't getting jack signed. I have no clue why they did this. I heard rumors like people complaining about waiting in line so they switched to tickets, or Steve Downs was feeling swarmed by people and had to step out, but whatever the reason, it was dumb for them not to give us the heads up. As for the third attempt, the last signing with Steve Downs and Jen Taylor was at 12, so I got in line at 10 a.m. just to get there early. I waited 15 minutes before someone told us they changed rooms last minute. I hurried to that room only to find they cut the line again and locked the doors. While the lines were long, at least they were managed. The lack of communication for the signings was insane. Between the booth being out in the open, no charge to get a signature, and cutting the lines before the time they were supposed to start, no wonder it was a madhouse. The people signing deserved better. I'm just blessed I was even able to get a picture with Steve. Basically, don't walk in expecting a signature. Shifting back into something positive, the convention also had a gaming arena. It had hundreds of Xboxes and PCs. You could literally play any Halo game you wanted with a bunch of fans, including a demo for Halo Reach on PC for the Master Chief Collection. And surprisingly, out of all the places, this had almost no lines whatsoever. I literally was able to walk in and have a staff member set me up with a 4K monitor, a fancy headset, and a light-up keyboard. And man, Halo Reach in 60 frames per second on PC looks way better in person than it does on YouTube. I got to play it twice, and while I'm literally garbage at PC gaming, it was still a blast to play, and I highly recommend trying it out whether you're a PC gamer or not. I think I even have the first documented Elite teabag for Reach on PC. Unless any Halo insiders would like to testify, of course. But Halo Reach wasn't the only game I played. I played ODST Firefight with one person, 3 rounds of Halo 3, and another 2 rounds of Halo 2 Anniversary. I know it seems silly to play Halo games while at a convention, but trust me, it was a great experience. I haven't had this much fun playing Halo in a long time. It was great having everyone in my game sit around me and react to every kill, death, and point made. It's a great way to kill a little time, and I was able to watch some of the panels while I played. Though some things caught my attention. I realized I was on blue team for laser tag, VR, all 3 games of Halo 3, both games of Halo 2 Anniversary, and I was the blue ODST in Fireteam Raven. Huh. Guess I'm just destined to be on the blue team. Now, to make sure this video doesn't go for too long, I want to quickly point out a couple more things I saw at the convention. First off, the cosplayers really brought their A game, and between the cosplay contest, the 405th, and other fans who worked hard to bring their own piece of Halo to life, there were tons of great cosplays from ODSTs, Master Chiefs, other Spartans, and more. Some other underrated booths were the Art Display, the Limitless Solutions booth, and the Mega Bloks booth. The Mega Bloks booth in particular really surprised me. They had a station to build vehicles, a display of nearly all their figures, a life-sized drop pod made of blocks, and a marked Master Chief portrait that anyone could come in and help build. Honestly, the convention needs more hands-on stuff like this. If you wanted some merchandise, the Post Exchange actually didn't have a line problem either. They sold a lot of stuff from Chief outfits to comics, and even though the stuff isn't cheap, the prices were still pretty reasonable for a convention. To give you an idea, that Chief pop figure I mentioned is $10, but 2 other places I visited beforehand that sold Funko Pops sold them for $15 and $20 each, so you're not breaking the bank either. Meanwhile, places like Universal Studios will sell $8 Transformers for $30. Trust me, I've seen worse. Finally, there was the Halo Outpost Discovery app. You could scan these symbols around the con for augmented reality images and unlock challenges for real-world prizes, but unfortunately it was very buggy and had a lot of sign-in issues. Also, if you're gonna use it, I'd highly recommend downloading it before you go to the con, because it's a pretty beefy download. Also, this guy's shirt. Nothing really important to the convention itself, I just really wanted to show this guy's shirt. In summary, was Halo Outpost Discovery worth all those highs and lows? Yeah! Despite its shortcomings, I enjoyed myself, met a lot of great people, had experiences I'd never thought I'd have in my life, and felt I truly reinvigorated my love for Halo and the Halo community. But I'm a deep Halo fan, and that's who this convention is really for. If you're not that interested in Halo, then you won't have the patience to overlook its issues and probably feel alienated. If you do go, however, my biggest recommendations would be to go at least 2 days, do at least the laser tag, VR, and ring experience, go as early as possible and plan ahead for all the attractions and events you want to do, try the gaming arena during downtime, and stick with general admission unless they give VIP owners Fast Pass access. Now before I end this video, I want to be crystal clear. While the lines and signings were serious issues that need to be fixed, I've seen far too much emphasis on just those issues, and want to let you know right now, outside of that, this convention is not a mess like some people are making it out to be. Most of the attractions themselves are really fun. Most of the staff were really nice, there were plenty of booths, panels, and events to keep you busy, and most importantly, this was the first convention by 343 ever. They're already talking to theme park planners for improvements, so hopefully on the 19th, they can learn from the mistakes that were made in Orlando. I personally feel like I got my money's worth, but if they can fix the issues I mentioned, then I feel like I could recommend this to everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a while since I've done any sort of video essay, but I just really wanted to throw my 2 cents into this. Now if you excuse me, I gotta jump right back into my cryo tube and wait for Halo Infinite to come out.